And you're tuning into the Black House Fire Radio. And you're listening to Yes, Massive Wagwan. Andrew Robinson, your Jamaican brother there. Reaching out to all the massive on the African continent. And you're tuning into the Pan African Bliss Show with your host, Jimmy. Monday to Friday.
Every time I feel can't believe it. Swear me like a win. That's why I try again. Every time I feel, cause God always I listen. One day I have to win. That's why I try again. Tell me, working hard, why am I still struggling? Minimum wage can't cover my bills. Somebody tell me how I'm gonna live. They might complain, but I'm not giving. I'll do it not sure. Only me and God know how my day go. But when me have to make a bad drive out of town, I'm free home, I want to forget the place and yes, me, Tanisha first starter. When we just start, we used to hear their laughter. But you know, say I type for the master. And everything I say I'm going to do, me, I go after. You see the free, that's why every day my holiday. Just like get a girl from the east with a dream. I shoot for the top and make up bring you a team. Every time I feel, can't do no different. Swear we have a way, that's why we try. Every time we feel, cause God always I listen. I have to, that's why we try again. No ideas, man. Just one balance for me time up. Mistake and mistakes, some I don't put it up. And the lights, I just don't like I love. Keep on pushing on, don't ease up. Even the try stay on the way. Past is still must see my brain. They never live to see the day. Yo, my bitch, showing up. So please follow me.
Good afternoon, family. Karibuni sana to another beautiful episode right here on the media of the 21st century. This is the Black Hot Fire Network radio station. And my name is Joby, in case you're here for the first time, to those who are on YouTube, on Twitter, on TikTok, on Rumble, on the show page, and on the radio station, and also on Spotify, rather on Spreaker. Karibuni sana, where today we shall be focusing our conversation on the new global health emergency, which we did speak about it yesterday slightly. We've been talking about it for the past few weeks, what this is all about. We're very well aware. If you're not aware, we also have the bird flu, which is the next pandemic that they are planning to actually also unleash. So there's a whole lot of things going on. But basically, I want us to focus on the monkeypox. It being declared a global health emergency and looking at Africa at large, where the main focus is there, where we can see, of course, these expectations of VCCINEs that are supposed to be delivered. Of course, we shall go back actually to some few videos which I have aligned right here, where this all actually started from. Historically, where did these diseases come from? Because if you try look at historically, Africa never had diseases. So the question is, where is monkeypox coming from? Or where did monkeypox actually originate from? Or actually what causes monkeypox? Because we know countries like Kenya, countries like, especially I'll start with Kenya, because we've seen that in Kenya, that is one of the countries that has been declared to be facing this issue. Kenya is not a homosexual country as far as I am concerned, me being right here in the 254. There's nowhere where I've seen any president signing into law homosexuality. Instead, I've seen them actually being very highly against this agenda. We've seen Museveni also passing very harsh rules regarding the same conversation. In Ghana, they are afraid to lose actually billions of money if they sign this into law, if they don't sign this into law. And of course, the people of the country, that was recently during the demonstration that they had arranged, they say that one of the reasons they're going to go to the streets is because the Ghanaian president, Nana Akufo-Addo, is delaying into actually making a decision of whether he's passing this into law or not. He needs to come up with a decision. And of course, Ghanaians are also highly against this, because this is actually what leads to monkeypox, if you have no idea, homosexuality. But we shall get into that and much more, because I have a video coming from a certain woman who we all actually very aware of. She goes by the name Amata, if I'm pronouncing her name correctly, Amata Amata Ido. Her name is really, really hard. But yeah, she's a legend who has been actually speaking so many things. I've shared a video. Remember the first time I saw a video was from Keith, and I've also shared a video regarding other conversation. And today, again, due to this conversation, we shall also share her video. And another one also coming from the Central Africa, where this was a year ago, where also the same struggle of them fighting monkeypox actually was very high, and this is actually even affecting children. So you're trying to understand the originality of monkeypox, the age group of people who actually are supposed to be reported to be getting monkeypox, and how the children are also suffering from this. So karibuni sana, that is actually our major conversation for the day, and of course karibuni sana to the topic of today. Once again, my name is Joby. In case you're here for the first time, shout out to Boniski. Thank you so much for the gifts right there on TikTok. Shout out to Steve. Karibu sana to the Blackout Fire Network radio station, and to everyone who's tuning in through YouTube and Twitter. Karibuni sana. I see you guys. Kindly do let me know if you guys can hear me loud and clear. And of course, if you have a quote of the day as we get back to the music, share something positive with us. And of course, let us stay connected. This is Cry Baby by the one and only Diana Codes featuring Siwa Saida. The album is Mauru Unit. And of course, we're coming back with a quote of the day. Share something, anything positive you have there with you.
Yeah. Choma yako pereka na uko Mr. Kidema na vituko Imezoea kushimoka Sifro solusioni kameza Stiklo Kani homa sezi bata Wana dhani ni kwa jetol Na please, mini mesota Soso nuta chimbabwa gold Minnesota hadi LA Sama banis wantaka game Niliwambia watu ni madola Silence na guata heavy rate Nekwa na kama wanipati base Wanambiwa si wali relocate Okay, tutambia nini waseni Chape remit au send wave I'm not real, I'm purely fake So kote na dhani ume mistake confused na jeshi ya genge bitch na ngushwa kireke unataka kufikia kipembe roja tisi sare kinembe unataka kufikia kipembe roja tisi sare kinembe cry baby unalialia shika tipigi wipe your tears artist kupendi my dear hizo ni nini ndo unasikia kwa heri follow your peers au kuambio wachane na mnisa
I wezi bye bye baby cry baby cry baby look at your style, look at your inside. Cry baby, like you look like cry baby. Stay for me, feeling like you're sunny. Cry baby, like you look like cry baby. Look at your style, look at your inside. Cry baby, like you look like cry baby.
Yes, and of course, karibuni sana. My quote of today is Happy Thursday. May your day be filled with hope, happiness, all the good things life has to offer. Have yourself a beautiful day and a beautiful Thursday, family. To everyone who's there right here with us on TikTok, shout out to Dixon Maura. I see you and I say, can we view the studio? You can view me. That's what's up. And if you want to view the studio, you can just subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us also on this platform. That is how you can view the studio. You know, but I also see DJ Painkiller, Karibu Sana. Hope you're doing amazing. And shout out to also everyone live with us on YouTube who's tuning in, everyone live with us on Twitter, Karibu Sana. Shout out to the hip hop psycho. Shout out to the hip hop silo, if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Anyway, karibu sana to you. Staendelea sana, sitaki kujiaibisha. And to also everyone who is live with us on Rumble on the show page. In case you're here for the first time, kindly subscribe and download our app, which is very, very easy for you to find. If you're using an Android device, kindly ensure you search for us on the Google Play Store. If you're using any Apple device, it's very easy using our website, the www.blackoutfirenetwork.com, and stay connected with the media of the 21st century. Now, today our conversation, to everyone who's just coming in, we're talking about monkeypox. That is where we shall be focusing our direction of today. And of course, we've seen a few hours ago, this has been declared and now the new global health emergency. And that is my question. What's the new global health emergency? Because every time, and I love the way Keith breaks it down, there's no way you can come up with a pandemic after just every now and then. Because even for me, the last time and the first time I saw a pandemic was in 2020. I think ever since I was born, I don't know the last time when we had a pandemic. Maybe anyone can let me know. I can't remember literally the last time after 2020, before 2020, sorry, when we had a pandemic then, and which kind of a pandemic did we have? What really happened? Because I think sometimes before we discuss some things, you have to go back historically, and that this actually today, when you speak about historically, we also want to go back to how Africa never had diseases, never had emergencies, never had pandemics, never had lockdowns, never had VACCINEs, but literally had their own hubs on how they could tackle diseases. Because you can see, even when the Europeans were coming to Africa through different directions, they had to go back, find a cure for them to find a way how they can tackle malaria, because when they came to some parts of Africa, they didn't know how they could tackle malaria. So basically that shows that Africa itself had medication of its own to rely on. But with the synthetic drugs, just comes in with a whole lot of things, which adds up to a whole lot of diseases that we can see today. So let me start with this video right here. Coming from this amazing lady. Like I said, this lady, the first time I saw a video, I saw it from kids. Shout out to him when I was getting educated much more about the African history. And she goes by the name Ama Ata Aido. And she spoke about how the Europeans have snatched everything from Africa, including their own peace and health. So let me share this.
Since we met you people 500 years ago, look at us. We've given everything. You are still taking. It's true.
It's true. They're still taking. And I do believe actually when this interview was being done, I'm not even sure when was this, but basically it is true. Because neocolonialism, we can see how activity is in Africa. We can see how the Chinese, the Indians are just signing deals with our current regimes, and snatching everything away from Africans. So it is so true. Since the European came in, they didn't leave. They left their people, their puppets, to watch everything that they stole and control everything they can, including the mindset of the people.
I mean, where would
Shout out to you, Hip Hop. Thank you so much for following the live creator. Shout out to Pavin in the building, physically and also right here. Santeni Sana for tuning in.
whole Western world be without Africa? Our cocoa, our timber, our gold.
Exactly. Because today, if you look at most of the African countries, talk about Ghana, if you want to talk about cocoa production, if you want to talk about tea farming, look at Kenya, who own actually majority of the tea farming or the tea production. We can see where Kenyans are fighting because of lack of employment. And instead we have the puppets. It's so crazy. If you guys can remember when we did the whole documentary that was investigated by the BBC, where we saw the people who are supposed to be actually creating job opportunities for their people. It's also where you understand also how Africans are colonizing their fellow Africans. And that is so true. How Africans are colonizing their fellow Africans. Instead of you trying to help someone else get a job, it's you trying to create nepotism, using your dick, spreading HIV and AIDS so that women can get actually job opportunities. We saw this on the British-controlled farm, the tea farm. The head of I don't know what there was raping women, giving and spreading STDs and HIV. It's just so crazy. It is just so crazy. Apart from that, instead of you trying to fight a way how we can actually find and control of our lands back, it's more of nepotism, more of corruption, more of greediness. It's so sad.
Our diamonds, our platinum, our whatever.
After you, Abdul Wahaba Abar. Hey, okay.
Everything you are is us. I am not saying it, it's a fact. And in return for all of this, what have we got? Nothing. anti-personnel indoctrination against ourselves.
Mhm.
If you go and cook your horrible diseases like AIDS, you say it is us.
Exactly. So that's where she starts with, and this is why we're saying we need to go back historically before we even cover much more of what is happening today. Let's start with history. How did this happen? And this is a woman who's explaining to today's generation. I don't know when she died. I'm going to check on that. And I'm not sure when was this document or interview done, but it seems like a very old video, as you can see, even from the visuality or the visuals, I mean. It is crazy to see that we don't have traces of this history. We're talking about how our books were burned, stolen, hidden, in places you can't even visit today. There's some of the African historical books, literally, but they have hidden them because they don't want it to benefit the African mindset, because that overpowers them. So it starts from how they came in, stealing resources, all the way down to them bringing diseases, starting with AIDS.
You brought us tuberculosis. We didn't have this big cough until
Exactly.
the white people came here. In exchange for Africa giving Europe 500 solid years of our people, I mean, not Europe, the Western world, of our human beings to work your canes, to dig your gold,
All of them.
to take in gold itself, diamond, fish, peanuts, palm oil, everything. In exchange for that, we have got nothing. Nothing.
Exactly. We've gotten nothing but literally diseases. Africa never had diseases. Africa never had poverty. We were just talking about, before I started the show, how when we listened to the video of this lady, how Africa, we had so much in plenty that we used to actually, that is when trade was very active. It's so sad to see that Africa today has forgotten what trading is all about, how beneficial it was for us as African people, what purpose it actually served to us as African people, because I think this has actually been erased. If I talk about maybe from 2007, that is when I saw the culture dying, because me growing up when I was in class 1, class 2, I still used to see grade 1, grade 2. I still used to see this very active in our village. For those who had coffee, for us, because we had plenty of coffee. My grandpa from my mom's side has a really large acre of land of coffee. And even when I went to the village, I showed you guys. I'm not sure if I sent a video on WhatsApp, but I did a video on my Instagram showing you guys the type of foods we have. We have wheat, we have coffee, we have so much in plenty. But growing up, I remember the type of trading we had, or exchange of goods, was if you have maize and I don't have beans, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you beans and you give me the maize. There's no money involved right here, no fake currency yet that was introduced right here. Understanding what the money is all about. We've been talking about that. We broke that down and all that. We never had the money. We never had this fake paper controlling us the way it is controlling the economy, trading, and everything today in Africa. Not even globally, Africa. We had instead maize. We had, like you can hear, we had palm oil, we had sunflower oil, we had coffee, we had tea, we had maize, we had strawberries, blueberries, everything you want to talk about, oranges, apples, passion, mangoes, banana, everything in plenty. But today, even Africans themselves cannot differentiate between the original orange and the genetically modified orange. I mean, some can, but I feel like for the Gen Zs and the Gen X, as much as not everyone, not the Gen Zs and the Gen Alpha, majority of them are gonna grow up, if we don't fight these genetically modified foods that are being introduced into Africa, this generation is gonna grow up literally not even being able to know that foods or fruits are supposed to have seeds. So let me continue with this one.
And you know it. Nothing. and you look upon, so white folks look upon us like monkeys.
Monkeys.
It is true.
Mm-hmm.
It's in your literature.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, some of your best thinkers have said this about us. Have you heard of all these Germans?
Netanyahu, come on, don't even go far. Netanyahu called us monkeys. What else?
Have you heard?
Okay.
Yes. They said Lord Burton, people like that. They said,
He called the first vice president of Colombia a monkey, but she showed them who she is.
we
it
don't
Colombia?
even have the brain of animals. That's what we've got from you people.
But don't you think that this is over now?
Over where?
It's never
Is it
over.
over?
It's never.
Who said that AIDS came from the green monkey?
Exactly.
Is it over?
It's not over.
Is it over?
Well, if this is your impression, do you think that you can ever forgive us?
It's not a question of forgiveness. I have nothing against you. My point is that you did and you are doing for your survival what is necessary.
Mm-hmm.
We can't blame you for that. The fact that we didn't do enough for our own survival and we are still not doing enough for your survival.
Literally. And if you try look at not even them in the past that they did it for their survival. Even to date, they're still doing it for their survival. Look at Sudan, look at DRC Congo, look at Somali, look at Ethiopia, look at Tigray, look at Djibouti, look at Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali. As much as they're trying to maintain the situation, they're still trying to come in and out and blowing people's houses and civilians. It is still very, very active. The genocide, the killing, they never stopped. It's still very active. And it is so sad to see that this is not in our curriculum. Being honest, I really feel if I go back to school, if you were to take me back to school now, and I have the mindset I have right now, oh my God, I'm not even I'd be attending school, leave alone the way even we could walk out of our class. I'll not even be attending school, because why am I going to be fed lies? Why am I accepting lies while I know the truth? Why can't I boycott the school? I can boycott the school. This is just so crazy. But let me continue as I get to share this next video right here. This is coming from Bill Gates. And then now we get into the monkeypox. And it's been declared the World Health Emergencies. We've seen the Bill Gates Foundation, Bill Gates, Melinda Foundation. They have always been funding funds in the African continent, to be specific. That was last year when Bill Gates came to Kenya. He said he left a couple, I can't remember the exact amount, but it was a large amount of money. And that was left under the Africa Development of Diseases, something like that. I did a whole show on that, Africa Control of Diseases, that is set in Addis Ababa and other African countries, which of course, it doesn't control anything. It's like a mini-me of the WHO. A mini of a WHO, But when he came to Africa, he left a few funds. He said this was just in case of any emergency. And the question I asked last year was, how do they actually tell or can predict that there's going to be another emergency? But of course, we're asking people who already know, and they've been controlling this, not Bill Gates, but the people he works for. They know how the program is lining, how the program is supposed to run. We're the ones actually on the mainstream media taking all the fake news, believing everything the fake news and the mainstream media is feeding, not trying to dig deeper into the truth. Most of the African countries have been funded or given money by the Bill Gates and Melinda Foundation. Do most of us ask ourselves for what? Why is it that there are funds set aside before the global emergencies? You know? But anyway, let me share this video very quickly. This is what Bill Gates did. I didn't even know about this. This is something very new to my table. I didn't know about this, that Bill Gates did this. And I didn't know also about this particular kind of a disease in the African continent. Let me share it very quickly.
There is no more river blindness disease in the country of Niger.
It's the first country, but we think we can do it for the whole continent.
If you invest in health and education, you can eliminate every deadly disease out there. Let's give every human in the world a chance to live. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. Bill Gates told me something that will never make the global news, and you need to hear about it.
The coons, you know, it's always the coons exaggerating the whole shit. But let me continue.
For the first time ever, we eliminated an entire disease in a country in Africa. It's called river blindness.
This is the bullshit they came up with, even with the missionary. You know, oh, we came to help you. You didn't know how to study, eat, and write. And now we just came to help you, civilize you. But if you try to look at historically, the uncivilized people right here is the white man. He learned everything from the African people, from an African. It's crazy how in every situation, this is the Hegelian dialectic again, in every situation, they always come as saviors. In every situation, not as the beginners of problems like the way that lady has told. That is Ama Ata Aido. That is her name, if I'm getting it correctly again. But they never, anyone want to actually ever admit that we are the beginning of this problem. Accountability. Who's ever going to behold?
And it's caused by flies. They carry deadly worms. If they bite you, the worms can go to your eyes and make you blind. Poor countries suffer from this every day. That's why Bill Gates and his foundation put an end to it. And today, there is no more river blindness disease in the country of Niger.
It's the first country, but we think we can do it for the whole continent.
If you invest in health and education, you can eliminate every deadly disease out there. Let's give every human in the world a chance to live. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. Bill Gates told me.
So this is just so crazy. This is. I don't know how many of you knew about that. No, there was a disease that, and mind you, these are the same people releasing the genetically modified mosquitoes right now. God knows whatever these genetically modified mosquitoes, what they have, what they contain, what kind of VSCCIN is they have put in them. Once they sting you, they release their jab on you. But what we need to understand is that every time they always come as saviors, as the saviors of the world, but they are not. The helpers, the providers of the world, but they are the beginning of the problem. The next video I'm going to share is coming from the Central African Republic, and then we generalize on the whole thing, going back to history, to what is happening today. And what can Africa do to avoid this kind of traps? Because this is a trap. This is a trap. And before I share this video, and the reason why we're talking about this is that the World Health Organization has declared the monkeypox outbreak in parts of Africa, a public health emergency and international concern. And that the highly contagious disease, formerly known as monkeypox, has killed at least 450 people during the initial outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo. It has now spread across parts of Central and East Africa, and scientists are concerned about how fast the new variant of the disease is spreading and its high fatality rate. The WHO chief Tedros Adhanom, I can't read that name, pardon me, but he said that the potential for further spread within Africa is very worrying. As coordinated, an international response is essential to stop this outbreak and save lives. Mpox is transmitted through close contact, such as sex, skin-to-skin contact, and talking or breathing close to another person. Since when? Since when? Since when? If it's a skin-to-skin contact, let me tell you, we would have so many diseases, okay? If it was a matter of skin-to-skin contact, Africa would be suffering through so many diseases. Okay? That is number one. If it is through breathing close to one another person, we would be having lockdowns every single day. So this is just all crazy. This is all lies. They're trying to push this narrative and it's slowly working. And again, like Kid says, Africans are too scared to not ever question majority of the things being discussed, especially by the mainstream media. We have no leaders who stand up with full balls to talk and address the issues affecting their countries, even if they're not affecting them. This is the same situation I was talking about even yesterday about the floods. The UN declaring that 700,000 people have actually been displaced and others lost their lives because of floods. Countries mentioned, we had Niger and Mali. Niger and Mali, what they're trying to do is change the lives of the people. Niger and Mali are in control of the information coming from the country. And anything said by the mainstream media, they always come out to stand by the true facts of what is happening in the country. So what I was trying to say yesterday, and also other countries apart from Niger and Mali, we saw Sudan and DRC. DRC is one of the countries mentioned right now to be facing monkeypox. But DRC Congo is also one of the countries facing floods, and Sudan as well. They manipulate the weather today. They can manipulate the weather. We spoke about that. So you want to tell me the fact that they can manipulate the weather, they control the information from the mainstream medias back and forth. This is not another narrative they're trying to form, pushing the monkeypox agenda, the same thing they did with the COVID-19. And I think we're going to put this show on private after this on YouTube. Because talking about this, the shows are going to be taken down. This is what they did with the COVID-19, literally. Lie to people, use the mainstream media to exaggerate the numbers. People got the VSCCINE, and now people are dying because of the VSCCINE. And now they're saying, hey, we didn't force anyone to take the VSCCINE. And if you did take the VSCCINE, baby, you'd be fired if you're working in a government office, right? Majority of the offices did not actually allow their people to come to office if you did not take the job, right? We had every country on a lockdown apart from Tanzania. Who knew what was going on? And they killed Magufuli. They killed Magufuli in the name of a heart attack. They killed Magufuli. So you want to tell me this narrative is not gonna Africans? This is to you, okay? Wake up. This is they're trying to actually. This is to Africans. Wake up, manze. Be very careful. Mkichukua vaccine tena nyinyi wajinga. You'd be very stupid if you are not aware of the COVID-19. Please don't get caught up in this one. Please, I urge you. Please do not.
The World Health
Now listen, this is in the Central African Republic, and then we have the DRC Congo, and we have Kenya. So far, it's 3 countries that have been mentioned, or declared to be facing the monkeypox. I'm not sure about the rest of the African countries, but Africa at large is a concern right here.
Organization has decided that the virus, formerly known as monkeypox, will now be designated mpox.
Shout out to Aunt Tracy K. Karibu sana. Shout out to Osmond. Welcome to today's debate. Let me know what you guys think about this. You're free to give your points if you understand the conversation we're having right here. And of course, this is not just a matter of Africa too. This is a global effect, okay? We understand that even everything that is happening in America right now, this is a global effect. This is all a global effect. They're trying to bring another pandemic, but it starts in Africa.
However, one refers to it, the virus spread globally earlier this year, bringing fears of another pandemic. Many Western countries...
Another pandemic. So that was last year. Mind you, I'm sharing this a video from last year from the Central... this is from the Central African Health, Central African Health workers who are fighting monkeypox and that they are facing lack of vaccine and medication.
Fought off the outbreak with treatments and vaccines. But in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, or DRC, the virus remains endemic, and frontline workers there are trying to prevent it from once again going global. Special correspondent Benedict Moran and video journalist Jorgen Samso sent us this report from the DRC's capital, Kinshasa.
In May, monkeypox spread.
And then something else we should actually ask ourselves right now is, okay, fine, they're declaring monkeypox a global health emergency. But the top countries mentioned is DRC Congo, Central African Republic, and Kenya. So far, that's the information I have on my table. But the question is, going back to just DRC, how is a country that is actually being bombed left, right, and center? People being displaced. We're talking about 8 million people right now who are displaced. All of a sudden, they have a monkeypox going on. Why do I even have time for this? Because the bullshit they're trying to say here with the monkeypox being spread skin to skin, like I'm saying, Africa would have so many diseases if it was a skin to skin issue. We would have so many diseases, Basi, brought by them still. Okay? Brought by them still. If it is a matter of breath, talking, how many diseases would we be having just because of talking to each other? This is bullshit. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. And we can't accept this bullshit. Africans, you need to wake up. You need to have your eyes very wide open. You need to look at what your presidents are doing, the deals they're signing. Okay? Wait, Skedi. Why isn't Skedi talking about this? This man is supposed to be actually have stepped down for not doing anything for the people of his country, but he's still running and was selected again as a puppet of the country. Because there's nothing he's doing. There's nothing Skedi has done for DRC Congo. Apart from pointing fingers at Joseph Boakai, there's nothing he's done. Blame games like they always do. Pointing fingers at those who didn't do anything on the previous regime, as if they are set there to do anything. Yo, the ball is on our hands. The ball is on the people's hands. And we're the ones to make a change. And you can't make a change by just looking at the mainstream media and still being fed lies. You have to react. If this is not about you, you have to think about your child, okay? If you don't want to fight about your life, think about your children. Think about your parents. Think about your sisters and brothers then. Think about someone you care about outside there. Fine, if not your family. Think about someone you treasure and how you can help them get informed about what is happening globally. Save someone. Don't let your person get caught again with this monkeypox, mpox agenda they're trying to push, like they did with the COVID-19. Get you jabbed, and then they tell you, we didn't force you. We didn't force you to do it. But if you didn't get the jab, people lost their jobs. People were fired. And now people are dying because they forced people. But now they're like, no, we didn't.
Across the globe, eventually reaching at least 75 countries, including to Europe and the US. Today, after widespread use of antiviral medicine and a preventative vaccine, global reported case numbers are dramatically down. But here in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, the virus remains a threat. In this clinic on the
country, where people are so worried about what am I going to eat? Where is my next movement? Oh my God, they might bomb us tomorrow. What?
Outskirts of Kinshasa, 3 young children are suspected of being infected. One of them is 2-year-old Kitengi de Michel. She has a fever and is vomiting. Painful sores cover her body. Dr. Trésor Guilefroy is treating her.
Yeah. Understanding, in DRC Congo, let me tell you something. In DRC Congo, we have UN peacekeepers. And these UN peacekeepers, okay, in DRC Congo, listen very well. In DRC Congo, we have UN peacekeepers. And these peacekeepers, there's nothing they have been doing but raping women and children. So if you want to talk about the monkeypox increasing in DRC Congo, I don't know, but I think it's the UN peacekeepers spreading this. Because how does a child have monkeypox? Because I'm not buying this nonsense of skin to skin breath talking nonsense. Okay? Monkeypox is spread through homosexuality. And correct me if I'm wrong, okay? But that is the fact. Monkeypox is spread through homosexuality. Not this skin-to-skin bullshit. So mtoto wa 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, our children getting monkeypox. The same bullshit they pushed with polio. Okay? Polio. This is the same bullshit they have been using. Polio. Oh my God. Cancer. Everything they come up with, there's nothing that everything they come up with, there's nothing, like that woman was said, there's nothing that is ever or has ever benefited African people. Nothing. Skin to skin. If it is getting diseases again, I'm saying African people would have so many diseases through skin to skin. If they're trying to claim mpox is being spread through skin to skin. Can you talk about the second-hand clothes that we were talking about yesterday? The second-hand clothes that are imported in Africa. The clothes that are given in the name of donations, but yet they are sold to the poor African people because we are poor, right? That's what they say. A continent full of gold, people required second-hand clothes. They can't make their own. We don't have manufacturing industries. We can't employ people we can't just do it. That is a continent that can't. Oh my goodness. If it is a skin-to-skin disease, it should start from the second-hand clothes, because these people send here their dirty clothes, unwashed underwears, dirty vests full of sweat. And I'm not capping. I hope on Saturday I'm going to make it. But on Saturday, I want to go to Gekomba. And I want to show you guys, especially the Black Hot Fire Network family, those in diaspora, for you guys to see what we talk about. Maybe majority of you are not. We want to talk about it slightly. But the underwears, everything, it's there. So if it is a skin-to-skin disease, it should have started a long time ago. So this is bullshit. Why are children and how are children getting monkeypox? It is the UN peacekeepers who are raping women and children there. Tell me otherwise. And probably even fucking each other on the ass.
Les enfants nous ont revenus ici.
The children
Pardon my French.
showed up here with complaints of fever, vomiting, and rashes. We checked up on them, but already with symptoms like these, we suspect it's monkeypox.
Here, far from West
Shout out to Keith in the building. Karibuni sana. Shout out to Joe Mosquito, Mr. Blackwood Fire. I see you are greeting peace. Shout out to Top of the Top. Thank you so much for the gifts. I see HIV, that is Joe Mosquito. Yes, the HIV, everything, tuberculosis, and all that. Top of the Top says, I was surprised to find out that we didn't need those. But exactly, immunity from mother's milk is enough. Yep. Keith has been teaching us this since I knew Keith, since I knew Black Hot Fire. We were not taught this. Apparently, even the African women don't know this anymore. And this is why I say, sadly, people are moving with the westernization so much. You know, people do not understand that actually the black woman, to be specific, the black woman's breasts to a baby how important it is. This is why we have them using black women back then to feed their children, because their women's breast lacked a certain type of, it's like something. But it's crazy to see that today in Africa, even women themselves do not know this. Now, women are moving with the westernization of pumping breast milk, and it's okay. You do your thing. Maybe you want to wake up very early. You're supposed to report to job. Of course, some bosses do not understand you have a baby and all that. But yes, pumping of the milk, personally, I'm not gonna do that. Okay, have a baby, man. Have a baby when you're ready. I'm not gonna pump my breast and put it on. I even find it disgusting. Me pumping my breast and my milk and putting it somewhere. This is my breast. This is my milk. Yeah. I want to feed my baby. I want to breastfeed my baby from the breast directly, if I'm ever going to have one. But not this bullshit of white people. This westernization. I'm not doing that. Then you come to warm the milk. All the nutrients are gone. How is the baby benefiting from a microwaved milk? Shit.
There are no antivirals and no preventative vaccines.
There's a whole lot of things we need to learn as African people. Everything needs to be relearned. Everything. Oh my God, it's everything.
Available to patients.
The only thing we can do is treat the fever and the skin rash. As for the rest, we need help from more specialized doctors to know what to do in order to better help these kids.
The Democratic Republic of the Congo is the country most affected by monkeypox, and it has continually reported cases over the past 5 decades. For the past few years, it has seen a surge in cases. Despite this surge, the country actually has few tools at its disposal to fight the virus. Teclovirimat, an antiviral used widely as a treatment, is authorized for use in the European Union and in the US, but not in the Congo or anywhere in Africa. And not a single dose of the smallpox vaccine, proven to be effective against monkeypox, is available on the African continent. It's a phenomenon some are calling...
It's because they're trying to figure out, let me tell you, it's not available. They won't, let me tell you, this is the Hegelian dialectic again. They're not here to bring you help. And I'm going to go back to the video of that woman again if we have to. This is Ama. Let me get her name correctly. I don't know why I keep on confusing her name. Her name is really, really hard to get. But her name is Ama Aito Ada, if I'm not wrong. Yeah? Ama Ato Aido, if I'm getting her name correctly. She says it very well. Nothing that the white people will bring to you will ever benefit you, okay? Nothing. As an African person, you should have that in your mind, okay? It is very well written in their books, in their histories, in their agendas, how they want to keep us backward, whatever, so that we cannot. Knowledge to us overpowers them. So they're not going to bring anything that is going to be beneficial to you to get better so that you can destroy their business. No, you need to keep getting sick, honey. You need the VACCINEs on aid and in demand, okay? You need more aid. That is what they do. You need more aid. You're not supposed to rely to your herbs. You're not supposed to know cure for cancer. You're not supposed to know cure for TB. You no longer even know cure for malaria anymore because you accepted the synthetic drugs, We had the cure for malaria when they were trying to come here, and this is why they couldn't even survive. But today, Africa, we have to go all the way again to the hospitals they introduced with their same method and laws to depend on them. It's a business, honey. It's a business. We have to go back to history, whether we like it or not. Shout out to people like Simba here on TikTok. I don't know where Simba went, but you can't ask why do I need to go back to history? How is history important to me? For you to connect what is happening to date, and I'm so glad to know this, you have to go back to history. You have to understand the root of all this. And this is why when I started this conversation, trying to check on where the monkeypox originated, it's never existed in Africa. okay? Until they came up with this bullshit they're trying to now force Africans to pass. Homosexuality. This is why you can see Ghana cannot even be able to make a goddamn decision. That's a whole man calling himself a president. Nana Akufo-Addo is threatened by the Western powers losing $3 billion if he doesn't sign the anti-gay law bill. What happened to morals, cultures, traditions? Can we go back to that? Duh.
Medical racism.
There's no profit in it. And that's where racism comes in.
Dr. Boguma Titanji is an assistant professor of medicine at Emory University.
That's where disenfranchisement of people who are poor, who do not necessarily have a loud voice to actually advocate for these things, comes in. There's a certain aspect of people still being very much stuck in the mindset of what is in it for me, as in why do we need to invest in malaria, in TB, in HIV, in monkeypox, if it's happening on the other side of the planet.
Dr. Nicole Huff spends much of her professional life encouraging the world to care, even if here is the other side of the planet.
In Kole, the Sankuru district.
Huff.
This is just so crazy. This is just so crazy. Before we get to wind up, what I'm gonna say again, Africans, we need to read. We need to unset our minds the way it has been set, because it has been set. Okay. We need to wake up. Okay. I don't want to say right now. Do you believe we have a large number? If I'm to try again, I love going back to when I started tapping back to into information. If you are to take me back 3 years and looking at majority of our people, you not have told me Africans are going to wake up anytime soon. But the awakening is happening super quick. And as quick as it is happening, the white people are feeling threatened. You know, they're feeling very, very threatened. And we should take that as a, how do I say? We should take that as a weapon, as an, how do I say? There's a word I want to use, but an advantage. Let me use simplest term. We should take that as an advantage. Them being threatened, okay? We should use that and even spread more awareness about our history, about what they did, about the narrative they have been feeding African people. Missionaries bullshit. And we brought you religion bullshit. What happened to our religion? We brought you vaccines that we never needed. Okay? We were never sick. You came with the diseases. You guys were stinking, could not even barely wash your asses. Man, let no white person ever try cross me. Because I have too much facts on you for you to come tell me bullshit and for me to listen to you. But they know I think they know, they know the people to mess with. I think they know the people to mess with. There's those who are just gonna look and you're like, nah, this one is easy to manipulate. And there's that African woman or man you look at and you get the African giant in them, the spirit, and you can't even dare. Your gut is not even allowing you. So I feel like they even know it or feel it. Something like that. One of the two. But Africans, we need to wake up. Okay? The awakening is happening super quick. The white master, the master is being threatened. He's feeling threatened because of you tapping into the information, because it is empowering you. You're gaining your power back. Knowing that you had no HIV, this monkeypox bullshit, we had no TB. We knew how to handle our diseases. If only I knew we had cure for cancer, God damn it, my mom would not have gone for chemotherapy, okay? She would not even have dared. And today, I'm willing to say, if I can, literally, if Africans, we can tap into the cure of cancer. Do you know how many people we can save to stop sending our people to India, sujui wapi? I'd really, if I can tap to that, I'd save a sister, save a brother. Trust me. But It goes back again to history. Understand who you are as a person. Understand the power you have and the effects it comes with, because it comes with war. Your power comes with war. You know, your knowledge, your power comes with war. They're ready for the fight. So the question is, are you? That is the question. And that is where I leave it at. Are you ready for the fight? Are you ready for the battle? But anyway, we're coming to the end of today's conversation. And I see so many people on TikTok. Thank you so much for engaging. Let me go through the comments. I see what you guys are saying. I see Keith is agreeing with me all the way on the conversation. He says, no, Joby, they have no clue about those clothes. Of course, they don't. But one thing I learned about second-hand clothes, and shout out to my stepmom, I'm going to give her that. And even a few friends, they used to tell me, when you buy second-hand clothes, the first thing ensure you do is wash it. Okay? Don't just wear it like that. Some people, some of the